Good afternoon everyone. We are here for an amazing session with the three ladies along me. You have the presentation. We are going to kick off straight in the panel, Women in Motorsport. What's particularly interesting today is that women motorsport is no longer being viewed as a niche conversation, but increasingly as part of the broader evolution of the global motorsport ecosystem. First question to Doriane. You recently became the first French woman to drive a Formula One car, the Mercedes W12. At your level, what does it actually take to perform and earn your place in this environment?
I think talent is the starting point, but the main difference, the thing that is making the difference is the work that you do every day to perform. Obviously, I think the consistency as well. In high level, you have to perform every time you are jumping in a car, and every time you have to prove your speed, your talent, your work, and the fact that you're representing a big brand, a big manufacturer. You always have to be there and perform at the top. So I think that's the main difference. And obviously, every time you're climbing up the steps up to the top of the pyramid, more it's difficult, obviously, and more it's demanding. And little difference is making the difference. And obviously the team is helping you to your team, and the team that you are representing is helping you to build that. But the main difference is yourself and the work that you're putting in to make the difference.
Makes sense. Discipline and consistency. Lisa Billard, to you, at only 16 years old, you are already competing at a very high level and entering F1 Academy. What has been the biggest adjustment in terms of pressure compared to French Formula 4, expectation and competitiveness?
Yeah, last year I was in French F4, so it's a big difference because in F1 Academy, the media side is huge and it's a big chance, but you have to be ready because we are driving at the same place of the Formula One drivers. You have all the pressure of the media around you, so you have to have good people around you to make sure that you work well on yourself.
Makes sense. Entourage also, after the discipline and the consistency. Burçu, from your perspective, how much has the perception of women in motorsport evolved over the last decade?
Wow, last decade brings me back to over 10, 15 years ago when I was the first international rally driver for Red Bull. And I did over 200 rallies and over 16 World Rally Championship events. Of course, I was invited to a lot of other different championships back in the day, and we could count the women out there. Usually they were either in the catering or probably as on other parts, but not many, so we were able to count them. And now the change is amazing. Also with the FIA, I don't know, how many of you know about the Women in Motorsport Commission? Can I have some hands? Lovely, that's great news. The Women in Motorsport Commission at the FIA was founded in 2009, so we were early starters into this. And within the FIA, we have more than 245 member clubs covering over 149 countries. So within this reach, actually, I've been to many general assemblies as well. And I have more than 20 valuable women in the commission, including Beth Paretta, who was the VP of Sporting for Formula E. And we have done a lot of different activities together. And what I see is really from where we were to where we are right now, there is a big, big change. And yet, there's still a long way to go. When we look at the percentage of athletes, we're still at 10%. And when we look at the percentage of engineers, we're still 5 to 10% females. So we did come a long way, but we have still a long way to go.
Still a long way to go, and the long way starts also with access of the motorsport. One of the major themes emerging across motorsport today is the importance to create more opportunities and more visibilities, pathways for the next generation. Question for Lisa. For many young drivers, talent alone is not always enough. How important are support structures, like you mentioned the entourage, your sponsors, visibility and opportunities in accelerating process today?
Yeah, I think like Doriane said before, talent it's the main goal, but you have to remember that you need to be at your peak performance every time, and for that you need to have budget, and it's the face of the motorsport who is the biggest challenge for me, because we have the visibility, but we need to be supported by more brand, more
corporate structure to be
yeah,
close to you.
exactly, like
Yeah.
F1 Academy, for example. So it's a big chance, and we have to take the most of it.
So initiative like F1 Academy are also take at the FIA level. Let's talk about the Girls on Track initiative. What concrete progress, Burçu, have you seen in recent years regarding access and long-term opportunities for young women entering the sport?
The FIA Goes on Track, through FIA Goes on Track, we reached actually over 5,000 people since 2018. And to show the acceleration, in 2025 only, 2,500 of the girls out of this 5,000 were last year. Through the championships, through our partnerships within the Formula E, with the FIA World Endurance Championship, with TCR Series, with World Rally Championship, what we are doing is actually, you can't dream about something you don't see. What do you dream about? You dream about what you watch in the movies, you dream about what you experience, but you need to have an idea about it. So what we try to do in the Girls on Track, we try to introduce different jobs that exist around motorsports to the girls, maybe that don't have access to it. I'll give you a concrete example. We had our General Assemblies in Uzbekistan, and we did host more than 50 girls there. And of course, we introduced different jobs, but also we brought go-karts, and some of the girls saw a go-kart for the first time in their lives, and I'm sure that they marked a lot in their mind. But we need to increase participation into motorsport, and we need to also link everyone together. So we have all our activations. I won't talk long. I'll give one more example. We also have the scholarship engineering program, which is we open our doors to applications, of course, males and females, but we had two females actually who won in the past years. This year's is Sanya Jain. Actually, she was our host, and she worked in the scrutineering in Formula 2 in Canada. And one of the last was also Jessica Salvini. She was an engineer in Argentina, and her career was at the time in Argentina, but via the scholarship, she got out. And right now, she's working on one of the top teams in ELMS series, and she's based in Poland right now. So it actually shows it can really make a change in your life. Lastly, like Doriane on my right, she was also a participant of our 2020 Girls on Track Rising Stars, where she also showed, of course, her talents. She was one of the finalists, and she got training on the Formula 4. So this is really bringing the whole world together, and we are welcoming every opportunity that is out there for advancing women in motorsports.
Impressive, a step-by-step approach for a collective impact. And a question for Doriane, when you look at the ecosystem today compared to a few years ago, do you feel opportunities for female drivers are becoming more real and accessible?
Yeah, I do think so, because when I started karting, obviously there were no one next to me. I mean, I was the only one on the grid, and today we see more and more opportunities thanks to those programs like obviously the FIA Girls on Track Racing Star. We think about F1 Academy, obviously, and other programs that is now activate, and it's those kind of events that helps women to come to the world and to the sport. And obviously, also with our result on track, we definitely prove that we have our place in the sport, and no matter the gender, we definitely can do good things out there. And yeah, I think the mentality are changing as well. There is a lot of improvement in terms of the mindset and the people that they are there for many years, and now they are seeing us performing. It's still, we are quite still surprising them, you know, like by our result. But the moment when it comes to a woman can compete, and now how we can reach the top, that's the progress, you know. That's the mindset switch that is a good sign for the future. So yeah, I hope it will keep continue like this, and we will see many more women and more diversity in general in the sport. Because if we can see 1 or 2 succeeding, or 5 or 10, it means that 1,000 can be succeeding if we have the support next to it, and the same opportunities as well, because it's also many the opportunities that we don't have so far, that we have sometimes, but not as much as the others. And if we have more opportunities, we definitely can have the potential and the opportunities to show us and to success and to have experience and building that. Yes.
Makes sense. And you talk about results. You know what is a good result, because you have many championships under your belts, and it's also changing the industry now. What we can see is that women motorsport is also attracting much more attention across the wider industry. Question for you, Burçu, on that. Why do you think so many teams, brand, organization are now paying more attention to women's motorsport?
Women in motorsport, I like to see it as a race car, like a race car that's ready right now to go very fast. We are shifting up the gears continuously and exponentially. So right now, if you jump on the car, you will be riding along with us. These girls, Doriane, Lisa, they're so talented, and they're showing it. And they're also an amazing potential. They're like a rising stock in the market. So this is the time to ride along with them. Otherwise, you will have to, otherwise companies, potential investors will have to run behind them, and I don't think they will be able to catch them. So this is the perfect time, and I'll just add some numbers to it. Right now, 40% of the Formula One fan base is females. And do you know the number of the new fans adding to Formula One? What's the percentage? Any ideas? 75%. I think it speaks for itself.
100%. And question to you, Doriane, on this exposure, with your experience across multiple top-level programs, it's good to remind what are all that program, I think, in your answer. How realistically do you believe the pathway to Formula One is becoming real for you?
I think it's more realistic than ever now, because there is some improvement in the last few years. Obviously, my opportunity race driving in Formula One car for the first time is already a big step. We did it because I actually perform on the sim, and they give me this chance in April to test it in Silverstone. So for sure there is now more opportunities, so we can think about Formula One. Before, I think we could dream about it, but it was not really reachable. And now it's definitely a goal to put someone at the top and show that we can perform. And so it will unlock a lot of doors and a lot of things for the sport to change, definitely. There's still obviously a lot to do. As I said, many opportunities for us, and also the support. that we need to have in terms of obviously financially, but also the people around us that is supporting us. They have to put us at the right place at the right moment. So it's a lot of things that has to align. And obviously Formula One is the category where is 22 best driver of the world. So even for male athlete, it's very hard to reach this category. So yeah, it will take a bit of time, but we need those opportunities for sure. We need this support financially as well to put a full organization behind and a full strategy behind reaching Formula One. And with obviously success in different categories, we can score the sport license point and then climb up to the top.
To the top. And please remind us quickly all the program you are part of, for example, this year.
So this year I'm racing in ELMS, European Le Mans Series, so it's the European Championship in endurance racing. I'm doing the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 2 weeks, so the big one, the most important one of the year. And the one we want to win for sure, every driver. So and then I'm driver development for Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula One team, for Peugeot Total Energy in hypercar, and for Citroën in Formula E. So a lot of
So you are quite busy.
development role, yes, definitely. But the step is definitely becoming, starting to work closely with the team and working on the development, and then switching to a official driver in the top categories in the next years.
Thank you. And question for you, Lisa, on that topic. For your generation, what could make the biggest difference in helping young female drivers progress faster?
I think the changing is already happening, because if I look back a few years ago when I started karting at 7 years old, I was thinking it was a sport for boys. And now I feel like girls don't have anymore to wait for permission. We can do what we want and prove that we are able to compete at the high level of motorsport. Now we can compete, but we want to be at the top. And I think the biggest change will be not to have only one girl in Formula One, but to have many more, and to prove to the world that there is no rule. It's only about work, determination, and talent.
100%. So we talk about discipline, consistency, entourage. Your shared perspective on the following question. The pace of the evolution of the perception at the highest level of competition. Do you feel the perception of women competing at elite level is changing rapidly within motorsport, or it still took time for you? Question for all of you. Maybe Burçu, because you have more experience on that question.
With pleasure. I think before it was more considered like social impact only. And right now it's a big opportunity, it's a value, it has a big brand value, and it's an opportunity to invest. I think, yes, it's changing quite quickly and in a good way.
Doriane, Lisa? Lisa?
For me, I think we'll success our mission when to be a girl in motorsport will be something normal, you know, not only drivers, but engineers and mechanics and all the work around motorsport.
All the level of the ecosystem. Okay.
No, I think the success will be to change as well the education, because it comes from there actually. When we are talking about little girls playing Barbies and little boys playing cars, this is the education and what the system is putting you inside the head. So that has to change definitely, because it's from there that we start dreaming and start thinking about what we want to do when we are little, and the success would be to see more and more girls from the scratch and from the very base level to start the motorsport and think that they are right to follow what they want to do in life. Yes.
Makes sense. Final question for all of you. If we have this conversation again in the next 5 years, what will meaningful progress for women in motorsport look like?
Normalization. Right now, we're talking about the first female engineer, the first team principal, the first driver to test a Formula 1 car in the last 10 years. We talk always about the first. The day when we talk about, yesterday in the race, Lisa was ahead of Doriane, and Doriane was ahead of Lisa, and then they were ahead of Max. You know, that's the time, I think, then when we will be speaking with names. Do we call Max a male driver? No. So the day we talk about names and normalize everything, that's when I think everything will be, then we can all smile, relax and smile.
And I think the day where people will not be surprised anymore about what we are doing, I think it will be a big success, because we definitely have, not saying it's feminist talk, you know what I mean? It's just because we already proved that prove things, and we can have success. And the day we are talking about, yes, we will bring her to the top level, because she definitely have the talent to be there. That will be a big success, and obviously, same for the people outside the car. I'm talking about everyone. Yeah.
Lisa, the final word.
I think they said everything. I totally agree, and we need to normalize this. And I think the most important thing is to be supported and to be recognized for our driving and our performance, not only because we are girls.
On this one, I think, thank you all very much for sharing your experiences and perspective with us today. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.